Hello and welcome back, guys, to the Sports Bar. I'm Ji Hae.
I'm MJ.
And we're here to do the quarterback shuffle.
We really do rival the 85 Bears dance moves.
I know, we're obviously better than them.
Because they set the bar real high.
I would probably actually be better if this wasn't my first Jameson and Ginger.
That's true. That was our mistake. We should have filmed this segment third. You know,
yes.
It would have really loosened up the moves, got into character.
Would have been so much more loose, so much better. But speaking of better, free agency. I've never seen free agency like this for the NFL. It is fucking ridiculous.
The best.
And especially for my girl over here, MJ, who has loads to say about free agency and her team.
I feel like we are the center of attention, the pretty popular girls or something. I don't know, we're the Vikings version of the plastics because everyone wants a little something of what we have, but then we're gonna go get something else anyway. There's 4 quarterbacks that are directly related to Minnesota. Kirk Cousins. Welcome to Minnesota. So excited to have you.
Amazing, incredible signing.
People are knocking the $84 million over 3 years guaranteed, but honestly, good for you. The contract should be guaranteed. He's not. People were thinking it was going to be $100 million over 3 years and this and that, and I'm really glad that they settled for less, fully guaranteed. Definitely a better option for the Vikings.
Well, I think it's phenomenal, that you guys even got him, but I actually mentioned this in episodes prior. I was like, he's gonna go to Minnesota because he is a Minnesota boy. He is a Midwestern kid. He, exudes those values, those family values or whatever, and the locker room probably will thrive off of this guy. It's incredible too, by the way, that you guys finally got rid of Bradford, which long time coming.
Oh my gosh.
And the fact that he has, and good for Bradford. He is the one quarterback that has won jack shit and has made so much fucking money. Talk about a man that's getting paid $20 fucking million for a year.
I mean,
the dream.
Everyone's talking about how much money Kirk Cousins is making, with the wins and all of this, and because he got franchise tag twice. Honestly, tell me who his receivers were exactly.
It was Washington, so give him a little credit because they're not exactly great.
This is why, yes, I'm a little apprehensive, but I'm always apprehensive because I'm a Vikings fan. But I feel confident about Kirk Cousins. And honestly, Bradford makes Kirk Cousins look underpaid. Because, my Lanta. And I love Bradford. That one game was awesome, boo.
We are proud of you for that one game.
That was a great game. $20 million game, though?
And he's so injury accident prone that I'm like, you know what, Arizona, knock on wood, bro.
At the same time, there's not much out there, so you can't really.
Not for Arizona and where they are in the draft and stuff. Yeah, so I get that. But speaking of having a lot but not having a lot, Teddy Bridgewater, we're going to switch over to the third quarterback that Minnesota.
Yes.
Not necessarily shuffled off, but
no. And and Minnesota's sad to see him go. I think, unfortunately, with his injury and just the recovery, I think he'll do well. I really hope he will. But sometimes you can think yourself into a loop, and I think it would be difficult for him to come in with the expectations Minnesota has as a fan base and perform up to them, and all of this. I think it would be a very difficult thing to come back from.
Especially being out for as long as he was.
I think it's better to wipe the slate clean and for him to start over, and unfortunately that is not with us. But the Jets, an up-and-coming team where he can have a season to get his legs back under him.
Man, you give them credit. JETS stands for SUCK in my opinion, but that's just me.
No, you are not. And to that, I will say, so at least when he goes there, they're not going to be mad at him for not taking them to a playoff game. There's not going to be that expectation. He gets a season to figure out.
I would hope so. I would hope
that he'll be okay.
How many years did they sign him for?
It was a $1 million with options.
Oh,
1 year with 15 million
to
options.
opt out after the first year.
Yep.
So that, I mean, that's good. At least he's able
For
to
someone who was
opt out.
out for 2 years,
Yeah.
It's awesome that he got a very decent contract. Hopefully it works out for him. And then that leaves our final home slice. Case Keenum, man, you are just, we will miss you. And again, I almost feel similar to Teddy, except opposite, in that he did so well this last year, but it was one of those like transcendental years where everything was just so perfect. I think it would be a struggle to repeat that again for him, and better to move on and do really well with Broncos than face all sorts of, well, now he's a backup again, and this and that, and.
But I think he also, with that in mind, I think he has that backup mentality.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he has played a backup majority of his career.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so I think him coming in with that mentality of like, I'm probably not going to start, but given the opportunity, like my mom says, you're going to play for 30 seconds, you play hard, motherfucker, for 30 seconds. Well, she doesn't say motherfucker.
I would love to hear
oh my God,
your
he's
mother
so
sing.
adorable. My mom's a missionary, so she definitely isn't saying any of that. But she did play professional basketball, and every time I would come in and she would try to coach me, for basketball, she'd be like, Ji Hae, you may only get 2 minutes of playing time, but you played hard for those 2 minutes. Case Keenum, you play hard for those 2 minutes that you're in, those 2 reps that you get. You play hard, buddy.
And you know what? Hey, he's gonna go to Denver and be their starter from the looks of it, because I don't know who else they.
I know who else are they gonna get. I mean, but again, you don't know what ownership has in their crazy little brains.
I think Elway's getting a little sweaty palms over there because he's had some swings and some misses in the quarterback department lately.
It's funny because they say those who don't do teach, but I think in Elway's, like, man, you got it wrong, bro. Like, maybe you need to give it to somebody else. I mean, whatever. I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna dock him because I mean, he is Elway. So you gotta sit there and just be like, you know what, shut your mouth, Ji Hae.
Yeah. Talk to me when you're.
I know. So
that being said, it was certainly a little bit of a quarterback shuffle. And Minnesota was the heart of it, and so the Bears. Thankfully, no one's released a mixtape yet except for us. And enjoy the rest. Thanks for checking us out. I'm MJ.
I'm Ji Hae. Still doing that quarterback shuffle, people. Stay tuned for more episodes, by the way, of the NFL free agency, because there's so much to talk about.
I feel like we're going to talk about it for a while.
I know. And I love how they're monopolizing, by the way, all the NCAA, which we'll talk about as well. Little teaser for you for our NCAA action.
Au revoir.
Thank you.